What's up? It's your boy Carcino, and it's real late. Meaning that after this, I'm gonna lay it down, lay it down, lay it down. This is the truth behind the beef between Luke Skywalker, or Uncle Luke, or whatever name you want to call him, versus Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Death Row. Oh yeah. What happened was, Dre was getting ready to shake the spot, and do his move, his power move, and start his own label. And they did deep cover and all this stuff, and they was getting ready to do their thing. Luke was one of their biggest supporters. It was NWA, because they had the same movement down in Miami. Like, they was boycotting the record. Like, they were the ones who had to fight to be able to cuss and say that type of stuff on record back then. The freedom of speech. They were doing that all over, because if they'd have lost that case in Miami, they were going to spread it worldwide. So it was a major fight for them down in the South to be able to say what they wanted to say. Even though Miami is East Coast, it's still soft to most people. So, with that being said, they come out with a song, Faking Like Gangsters. And they was just talking about rappers in general who were faking like gangsters. But they were playing NWA, like, for the sample, they was using NWA sound. So Dre thought they were talking about NWA was faking like gangsters, which wasn't the case at all. It was a misunderstanding by them, but they went ahead and mentioned it on that Dre Day song. Animosity must have made you write what you wrote. So, I mean, the thing was, when they dissed Luke in the fashion that they did, without finding out the information, they had no idea what they were doing, because Luke is somebody of stature in that community. So when Luke and JT Money made the song, because Luke don't rap, everybody knows that. Luke is the Hugh Hefner of Miami. And we talking senators, mayors, any athlete that came out of there, any athlete going to the University in Miami, Luke was your guy. Luke was going to make sure you was okay. This guy had, they called him, they tried to catch Luke for borderline prostitution one time, and he had a state's attorney write a letter of recommendation like, no, this man's okay. So, no, Luke is cool in Miami. And talking about blasting him in Miami, it was just, we're going to rob you in Compton and blast you in Miami. Very disrespectful in the South. This hurt Dre and Snoop when they were touring and doing the shows. They couldn't come nowhere near Miami. They didn't even do any shows in Florida out of fear of what was going to happen in retaliation. Because Luke came back immediately with Cowards and Compton. Him and JT, and they were letting it be known. That boy hang with gangsters. I mean, real gangsters. If you think, no, they just don't dress like how you would think a gangster would dress. You know, they dress different. But believe you me, when I say you don't want to rub on shoulders with them and go to war with them, you do not. Like they say, they'll get up in you quick. And Death Row thought the Jack the Rapper event in Atlanta would be a good place where everybody will be cool and they'll have protection and there won't be no problems. They had no idea they was going to run into Luke. And it was the dog pound by themselves getting caught off the square. Dre wasn't even there this time. Everybody think, oh, they beat Dre up when they saw Dr. Dre. Dre wasn't even there. I think Snoop was there with the Dog Pound. And they were working on the Dog Pound album and Snoop's album. So when they ran into Snoop, it was like, oh, there he is. Yeah, what's up? You know, and oh man, it was like crazy. Luke and them came in there and they started turning over the tables and the chairs, and one of the dudes who kicked the most ass out of everybody in there was a guy nobody knew at the time, but if I say his name now, you know him. But then he was Trick Daddy Dollars. Very young Trick Daddy Dollars. He was with JT. He the one really set the shit off when he threw that damn chair. He threw the chair before he got there. And then, you know, Snoop and them, they was talking noise, and the Dog Pound, they was ready to get it on, you know, until they got on, and then they really didn't want to get it on no more. Because Trick was kicking a lot of ass. So, once security started coming and stuff, and I mean, Snoop stood his ground for a second before he realized, oh, it's more of them. We got to get the hell out of here. Luke ain't playing no games. Once he saw them other dudes hit the door, it was on. It was like, hey, oh, it's more? Okay, well, we better get out of here. And then the next year, Dre came. And then there was some New Orleans dudes came in the next year, and they called Dre, snuffed him, sucker punched him. And my man did a glass Joe slipping, trying to get up and run at the same time and tripping over himself. So, and everybody think Luke had something to do with it, but here's the thing. You don't collide with Luke. Suge Knight couldn't even help him. But what happened was they reached out, they had a truce. They was going to shut down the entire Jack the Rapper, change all the rules, and pretty soon it became null and void. They had to just shut it down because A&Rs didn't feel safe. People were shooting off balconies. It was getting crazier and crazier each year. So they said, you know what? Why are we even doing this? You know, these people obviously they can't handle this. So they shut it down. And Snoop made peace with Luke, and ever since then things was cool with them, and they explained it was a misunderstanding. And why can't people just ask questions? But I understood what Drayton was on. Like, look, we gotta sell an album. So we gonna diss Easy, we gonna diss everybody we can on this album to draw everybody in us. and it worked. Chronic was great, and it was sold. People were drawn into it from all the distance. But then they heard the songs, and every song was almost a classic. So, on that note, this is covered. And your boy is going to sleep.